Hello Darts Nutz, welcome to Darts Review channel. So you may have seen that Bulls Germany have had a mini launch, so they've got some new player darts and they very kindly sent me a set of the new Niko Springer darts, and they've also sent me a couple of their new dart stands. So in this video, as well as looking at the darts, I'll give you a quick look at the dart stands. So let's check them out. So I'm reviewing the 24g version. You can also get them in 22g in steel tip, 20g in soft tip for the barrel only, the 90% tungsten, and the retail for £69.85. Right, so what I'll do first is I'll just show you the package and contents, and then I'll show you a closer look at the stands. But as you can see, they come in this cardboard packaging, and inside there's like an internal tray with a dense foam insert, and although it looks as if you've got 3 sets of flights, there's just 1 flight in each. And these are the Power X flights, I think that's what they're called, because they sent us some extras, or X Power flights, and it says XXL shape, but on the back of there you've got a little graphic which kind of explains the weight and what does it say? Yeah, it's got the surface area. It's a little bit hard to see that through the camera, but you can see that on the pack, which is a handy little graphic to have. So that's those. I don't know what kind of shape you would call it. It kind of looks like a stretched out standard shape basically, and you get a set of the Bulls grip medium, I think, polycarbonate stems. And the darts themselves are fitted into the Bulls rubber and metal point holder. So that's the darts. Now the stands, I'm not sure what the prices of the stands are, but once I've found out I'll probably have it on the video, so you'll probably see that at the time I do it. But I think, to my knowledge, this is the first time I've seen a brand release a 3D printed product. So that kind of shows you how advanced the 3D printers are getting, and it looks quite neat actually. On the back, this is just for 1 set of darts, but on the back it's got 2 holes there, so you could fix it to a wall or a shelf or whatever. Those other holes is where the zip ties had the cardboard attached to it, and then the other stand is for 2 sets of darts, so you got 6 holes on that one, and similar style but obviously bigger. Although I was going to say, maybe if they put the holes a bit closer together you could have probably got 3 sets of darts on there, but again it's got the screw holes on the back. So once again 3D printed, and they're both very light but they feel very like strong. So there you go, that's the darts and the stands quick look. So we'll have a close look at the darts now. Darts fitted with a black quarter point. It's a, well, I guess it's a tapered barrel. It's slightly unusual shape because it almost looks like it's going in a little bit there, unless it's just my eyes playing tricks. But then it kind of tapers at the front, goes parallel, then kind of tapers a little bit, and then it looks like it's going parallel again there. And then on the rear section it goes thinner, and you've got that kind of like lip to push against from the rear section. Looks a little bit like the Yellow Classing style of dart from a few models back, I think. Can't remember which one. But quite an interesting shape, and it actually feels quite comfortable there in the fingers, even though I'm not a rear gripper. But this front section, it's got a mix of thin ring and groove, and then you've got like a mini shark style grip. We'll see that better in the super close up just now. Then you got a dreaded smooth section, I guess, and then a kind of a almost like just a groove grip there, very shallow grooves. And then on the rear it gets into a slightly wider but still quite flat groove section, with just a little bit of lateral cuts on it. So I think in terms of the grip level, that bit on the front actually feels a little bit more grippy, so it might be good if you're a rear gripper and you just like to rest that finger there, because in terms of holding it like that, I'm not sure that's the best spot. It certainly feels as if it's around here somewhere. And that section, as you can see, is smooth, so interesting combination of grips there, I suppose. And fitted with the Bull's Grip polycarbonate medium stems, and these quite interesting looking flights, which kind of looks like a stretched out standard shape. I don't think I've tried these ones yet. So there you go, that's the full setup. Let's have a super close look at the grip. So as you can see, the nose is smooth apart from those lateral cuts, but then you get on to, I would say it's a double thin ring grip with the lateral cuts again running through it. And obviously, as you can see, a tapered front. And then at first it don't look like it, but it's like a mini shark style grip. I just put my hand under there, you can see just the edges of the shark rings. And then means a bub. I'm not even sure what that's all about, but maybe somebody will let me know in the comments. But there's a smooth section there with the logo and that text on it, and then you've got a couple of grooves either side of this section, which is really not exactly a ring grip, it's just a thin couple of grooves etched into it. And then you've got another ring and groove section, and obviously you've got the painted grooves there and some lateral cuts, and then you kind of got like almost like a curved step down section, and then looks a little bit like a scallop, but then it goes into a parallel section on the end of the barrel. So quite an interesting mix of grips there. So there you go, that's the super close look at the Bulls Germany Niko Springer darts. So the dart's fitted with a black coated point. It's got a tapered front, which has got a smooth section with some lateral cuts on the first part, 7mm. Next part some double thin ring grip, 6mm, and then it kind of starts going parallel with some mini shark grip, 3.4mm, smooth section, 5.6mm, some etched in grooves, 5mm, and then a kind of a shallower double thin ring grip, 6.7mm. Kind of got that curvy step down lip, 3mm, then a smooth parallel section, 9.5mm, length 46.2mm, width 7.5mm. .10 grams. 24.04 grams. And 24.06 grams. Full setup, 26.04 grams. So here's the balance with barrels only, and this is the balance with the supplied setup. So I'd say the front section is just about the grippiest, maybe just edging onto a 6. Right, let's give them a throw and see how they go. This is a kind of a quick style format review, so I'm not going to do it quite the same as I did on the last quick one where I did 5 minutes and then just showed you the highlights. Instead I thought I'll just go around the board on doubles. I've got my elbow strap on as well, so this is my first throw with these darts, and I'm holding them on the grippy section on the taper. Well, I think I hit the 2, but I wanted the double 2. Oh, that's actually not flying too bad there. I think having that bit of, oh, that's well stuck in. Having that bit of grip on the taper there just gives me a little bit of bites. Normally I'm not a fan of holding a taper, but it's usually a bit better when there's some grip on it, like, because it just gets a nicer feel. Oh, I've not even done a warm-up. These are my very first throws of the day, so it's got I don't know if it's just because I've got this on, but it has a slightly heavy feel. It was 24 gram, wasn't it? Let's double check. Yeah, it was 24 gram. Kind of feels heavyish. Oh, it's close. So I didn't feel too bad thrown from there. It's quite a nice balance. So I'll move it up to the slightly wider section, so a little bit on the smooth part and on the rings behind. So I guess you can call that the mid part. So I'm getting a little bit of grip there. What was I on? 10. And it actually kind of like tapers a little bit there, so almost feels like you got something to push against a bit on the tapered part. I think also with it being a fairly short dart as well, it's got a nice balance to it. I'm not sure if I would say it's going to be for front grippers, but it certainly didn't work too bad at the front, but the midsection actually feels a nicer balance. What was I on? 13, I think. I think personally, in terms of the grip level, I think I preferred the front section a little bit more. So for the sake of trying it, I'm going to hold it on the rear part and try and get a little bit of push against that kind of like ridge. And I forgot what number I was on. I did 13, 14, 15. I think I'm on 16. Is that right? Yeah, it will be. Actually flying quite smooth from that spot on the dart, and I managed to get an 18. These points are certainly sticking in. Pretty sharp like. Oh, well, actually feels quite nice thrown from that rear section there. I think it just sits in the fingers quite nice. So I definitely think for natural rear grippers it'll probably throw rather well from there. The mid part as well didn't feel too bad, kind of had a nice balance there, but in terms of the grip level I found that section on the front the best, but I'm not quite sure if that's the best spot for a front gripper. It doesn't like sit in my fingers as nice there, even though it didn't feel too bad to throw, but I think maybe mid to rear and to the rear is probably the sweet spot, I think, in terms of the shape of the dart and the overall feel. So there you go, that's the Bulls Germany Niko Springer darts. I haven't done a gallery because, like I say, this is kind of a quick format style, and I've got so many things to get through on reviews that I'm trying to streamline the workload. So taking pictures and doing all that, setting everything up, takes a bit of time. I did some pictures, but not to the extent of doing a gallery, just mainly for the thumbnail and the info and the balance and all that. But it takes a lot of time to do all that, so I'm still kind of trying to work on a quick format where I can fit as much stuff in as possible and also without taxing my elbow. So it's still a work in progress. But anyway, that's the end of this video. I'll see you in the next one. Happy darting.